All right, hello everybody. Welcome to Q&A live stream number 121. It is approximately 8:23 p.m. right here on the East Coast in the great state of New Jersey. Today is Thursday, February 25th, 2021. We are now down to the last 2 days of operation for Lord & Taylor. So Friday and then followed by Saturday, all Lord & Taylor stores will be done along with 9 express locations, 37 Bed Bath & Beyond locations, and approximately 407 Christopher and Banks locations. So we're getting down to some final days for some stores. Certainly quite sad. All the Lord & Taylor documentaries are up, which include the Fashion Center Mall, Westfield Garden State Plaza, both in Paramus, Willowbrook Mall in Wayne, New Jersey, downtown Westfield, Bridgewater Commons, Quaker Bridge Mall, Rockaway Town Square, and the New York stores being Scarsdale and Manhasset. So all of those store tours are up for everybody to see online. So the other exciting news today is Belk has officially exited bankruptcy, which is very exciting. But as a lot of people know, we're probably going to be seeing some more store closures tomorrow. I'm sorry, not tomorrow. That's another thing I want to get into in a minute. But I do think we're going to see some Belk store closures, if not today, at some point next week. We should be seeing some Belk store closures. So yeah, I can't believe Lord & Taylor's going to be gone in 2 days too. It's crazy that they're all going away. It's certainly sad, but the writing was on the wall for Lord & Taylor, and a lot of their stores were just a former shell of themselves. The one I'm certainly going to especially miss, definitely Manhasset, definitely Scarsdale, and definitely downtown Westfield. Oh, and Fashion Center in Paramus. Those are definitely the 4 I think that I'm going to personally miss. Westfield because that was Haynes' best performing location. Fashion Center in Paramus just because they never changed the exterior signs on that store, which is pretty unique. Manhasset is a pretty unique location, and Scarsdale. And Scarsdale actually was the flagship Lord & Taylor after the one in New York City closed. So again, it is really sad that all the Lord & Taylor stores are going away, but I have a bunch of store tours up now for you guys to enjoy on my channel. So yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised there's not a lot of people on here. Woodbridge Center already went out in earlier last year. Hi, Joe. How are you? Well, you could make the effort to go there if there's one nearby that's liquidating, but it's 19, so it depends on where you are. Yeah, the closest one to me is about 15 minutes. But actually, Paramus, New Jersey is the only town in the United States to have not one but 2 Lord & Taylor stores. Yeah, but it's not going to be the same. Yeah, they're doing an online business, but there's so many other retail companies doing an online business, like Amazon. Um, you have, of course, Jeff. I'm sorry, yeah, you have Amazon. There's just so many other choices. Walmart.com, Target. So I don't really know anybody who's going to shop online for Lord & Taylor. My childhood Lord & Taylor was Westfield Garden State and Quaker Bridge. That was a childhood Lord & Taylor, Quaker Bridge for me. Fair Oaks Mall was an interesting one too, I think, in Fairfax, Virginia. That is also closing this Saturday too. But I don't think I'm going to get to one, but if I do happen to get to one on Saturday, I'm probably just going to do maybe not even a walkthrough just because of how scarce the stores are going to be, and security is definitely going to be on the lookout now since the videos are up, so they're going to be well aware of them being online. I don't know. I just know Hilco likes to work like that, and they're pieces of garbage for that. But I mean, look, at the end of the day, they're there to do a job, and it's to liquidate the stores, unfortunately. But Lord & Taylor is done. Like, it's tomorrow and Saturday. That's it for Lord & Taylor, as well as 37 Bed Bath & Beyonds, 9 Express stores, and I believe over 400 plus Christopher and Bank stores. JCPenney, it's about 18, which all of them I believe are starting in March. And Best Market, it's 2 more additional locations. Oh, and what's also closing this weekend is the final Seritage Growth Properties Sears and Kmart stores. The Big Bear Lake, California Kmart is closing February 28th, along with, I believe, four additional Sears and Roebuck stores in Puerto Rico are all closing by this Sunday. So Saturday, Lord and Taylor, Express, Christopher and Banks, at Bed Bath and Beyond, all gone Saturday, and then Sears and Kmart, the Sears and Kmart's that were owned by Sarah Grove Properties, all gone by Sunday. So a lot of closings are happening this weekend. Some with Hilco Merchants, and then some others with SB360 Capital Partners LLC. So, and then obviously we get to March, and Macy's is going to close. So, but actually, I do have the JCPenney list with me. Give me 1 second. I know the. Yeah, you know what? I'll just zoom into the list. I'm gonna have to somehow zoom in. There we go. Express stores, 9 of them are closing. About 9. This is the list. Now I'm gonna go through each location carefully. Kind of zoom out a little bit. So, Enterprise, Alabama, Kissman, Arizona, Cardiel, Indiana, Macon, Illinois, Garden City, Kansas, not Garden City, New York, Hazard, Kentucky, Murray, Kentucky, Sturbridge, Massachusetts, Canton, Michigan, White Plains, Missouri, Matthews, North Carolina, Bellefonte, Ohio, Clarin, Pennsylvania, Sumter, South Carolina, Temple, Texas, St. Johnsbury, Vermont, Glen Allen, Virginia, and Squam or Squem or Skewum, I don't know how you pronounce that, Washington State. So those are the locations that are closing, and I'll go ahead and put that in the chat to make sure that everybody sees which of the JCPenney stores are closing. Oh, Idaho. Yeah, so those are all the JCPenney's that are closing. Yeah, that's kind of sad, actually. That tells you the shape that Sears is in, especially if its subsidies have hometown outlets. But honestly, I think Sears' future is going to be Sears Home Services, and I think Sears Home Services will be picked up by Amazon, and that'll just be what Sears is, unfortunately. I'm pretty good, Scorch. How are you? No, JCPenney Roosevelt Field is not closing, but the JCPenney in Garden City, Kansas, no relation to Garden City, New York, is closing. But no, JCPenney Roosevelt Field is not closing. That's not closing. But the store in Garden City, Kansas, which is not in the state of New York, that JCPenney location is closing. No relation to the Garden City, New York location. Yeah, apparently, I guess JCPenney Roosevelt Field is one of the top performing JCPenney stores in the United States. So, is this a two-floor JCPenney? Sometimes there's a way to tell if it's a two-floor store. Oh, it seems that at one point this mall had a Kmart store. I think the Clarion, Pennsylvania location, I think, is one floor unless the store has a basement. Trying to look at the back of the building to see. Yeah, I think the store might be one floor. How is Westfield Garden State Plaza doing? Yeah, Westfield Garden State Plaza is doing. Oh, it really is. Oh, so it has a basement. Okay, that makes sense then. Yeah, Westfield Garden State Plaza is doing fine. That mall's not in trouble. The government here is going to end the mask mandate. It's not going to end anytime soon, that's for sure. PC Richards is luckily hanging on. Yeah, but barely. But personally, if you compare that with Fry's Electronics, PC Richard and Son is in much better financial shape than Fry's Electronics. At least PC Richard and Sons, you compare that with Fry's Electronics, PC Richard and Son is like the Best Buy. It's like it is a step down from Best Buy, but it's like the better version of what Fry's Electronics could have been if they had a much smaller store format. But unfortunately, they never invested in the stores, and a lot of them were just very empty. I did like the theming in some of them. That I think the theming was really cool. But for electronics store, I don't know if that's like good. Like maybe if Best Buy did it, they would be cool. But the problem is, it's Best Buy's everywhere. You know, Fry's Electronics was a little different. It was unique. It was a big. It was like if you could fit a Costco and a half. That's what you get with Fry's Electronics. Or you could probably fit a Sam's Club and a Costco in that same spot, or maybe just a Costco. Not sure about that one. But yeah, PC Richards is hanging on luckily. I don't go there that much, but I hear they have good customer service sometimes, depending on who you get, of course. Sometimes people don't like working there. I don't know. It's an all right store. It's just, it's not great, but it's okay. It serves its purpose, that's for sure. Hi, Dylan G. Jesus. How are you? Are most Lord and Taylor stores 2 stories or 3 stories? So when the Lord and Taylor stores were being built in the 1960s, a lot of them were 3 stories, depending on the location specifically. When the locations were built by Associated Dry Goods, a lot of them did restaurants on the top floor. So that way you would go on the first floor and the second floor and the third floor. Obviously, this has changed. People don't do that anymore. But you go on the third floor and you could get I don't know, a club sandwich after getting a new dress. Obviously, that's not what that definitely does not happen now. But back in the 1960s, that's what a lot of people did, and that's why they did the restaurants. And after May took it over, yeah, they just at that point they were just building 2-story Lord and Taylor stores where left and right. Like they built the one at Westfield Garden State that was built by May. Willowbrook was built by May. Freehold Raceway was built by May. Woodbridge Center was definitely May Company. And May actually even did an expansion on the Westfield store, believe it or not. They did a 2-level expansion. Didn't install any elevators or escalators. Literally just expanded the store a few feet west. But to answer your question, Ornell, most Lord and Taylors are about 2 stories. One exception is the one in Victor, New York, which I believe is the only one-level Lord and Taylor store to ever exist. I don't think there's any other one-level Lord and Taylor that I can think of, off the top of my head at least, but maybe there was one many years ago. And no, Find It at Lord and Taylor does not count too, because that's a discount version of a regular. But a one-story regular Lord and Taylor store, that's in Victor, New York. That's the only one-level Lord and Taylor store that I know of, at least. Yes, obviously people are still going to wash their hands. Anybody who doesn't wash their hands, that's disgusting. That's really disgusting that you don't wash your hands, especially before you eat or before you hang out with friends. Micro Center is very popular, and hopefully they'll pick up. Hopefully they can go out to the West Coast since what's it called? Fry's Electronics is gone. It's still sad that they're gone though. Roosevelt Field? Oh, it's doing fine. Are you kidding me? It's got a Neiman Marcus, a Nordstrom, a Bloomingdale's, Grand Lux Cafe, AMC, all that open. Yeah, that place is doing fine. Yes, PC Richard and Son is based on Long Island. You are correct about that, Scorch. No, Florida does not have cases. Nationwide, we're going down with cases. Oh, you're going to Westfield Garden State Plaza tomorrow? Have fun. There shouldn't be too many crowds there anyway. Well, maybe those people just don't have anything better to do. Wear a mask. I don't know. Wash your hands. Stay socially distanced. I'm not here to say that on this live stream because I don't want to use that for the. That's not what I'm using this platform for. But yeah, just stay safe. Follow any rules. Obviously, actually, I don't want to use this. Nuts. Okay. Yeah, that works. All right, you know what? Hold on 1 second, guys. Yeah, I mean, obviously, this is blocked for reasons I can't disclose. Oh, how did that happen? Hold on 1 second. Oh, you know what? I know why that happened because that's all crappy paper. Okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously, definitely wear a mask if you can, if you're going back to school, and you're gonna have to wear it all day unless you go outside. So, but definitely wear a mask if you go back to school. Yes, Lord and Taylor failed twice with outlet stores. There was the Lord and Taylor outlet, which was at the source, which it was at the what was it called? The source at Westbury. Yeah, a failing mall on Long Island, very terrible mall. And find it at Lord and Taylor, which was another failed concept, of course. Not that I've been to American Dream, but thanks for letting me know. Absolutely, Micro Center is so much better than Fry's Electronics. Micro Center is going to have more in stock for people that need technological parts than Fry's Electronics. Yeah, Fry's Electronics, they tried to sell perfumes, children's toys. Yeah, because I'm going to go to Fry's Electronics and buy toys and perfume. That's my number one spot that I'm going to go and buy that stuff. Nobody in their right mind is going to go to Fry's Electronics to buy that crap. Nobody. That's just laughable. I mean, I thought that there was worse than Sears, and I think Fry's Electronics is worse than Sears. Plus, they never reported anything, and then they just all the employees got the notice Tuesday night. Yeah, we're not opening up Wednesday. You're all out of a job. So it's a shame though. It really does affect the people on the West Coast especially. But what can you do? So. Yeah, I mean, even if you don't go, Roosevelt Field is just doing well. It's like Westfield Garden State Plaza. That's pretty much what it is. And the same could be said for King of Prussia. Yeah. Well, I'm in college, but the good news is I don't really have classes tomorrow, which is nice. So I get Friday off. But yeah, it's but you still, college is not easy because the lectures. Yeah, I have this awful like 2 to 5 lecture. It is not fun to sit through that, especially like when the professor rambles on about stuff. It's not fun. That's for sure. I would explain everything. That's for sure. Yeah, I've been virtual since March. My last in-person class was March 6th. I have not stepped into a college class since March 6th. It's going to be really weird when I do eventually go back, but I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. Yeah, I think he looks at it from a store standpoint, and I do kind of agree with him a little bit on there, but then again, it's ideal. It's an ideal spot just given the size of the store. But I think he is kind of right. I think it would be too far away from New York City, but Walt Whitman is not that close to New York City. Again, I don't know though. Probably the low pitched 330A more so because those are really rare. Yes, it did. The source at Westbury. I think that was the name of the mall. Oh, it's the mall at the source. Oh man, the source at Westbury. Oh man, thank goodness Felici is not here because if he heard me say that, I think he would do a face palm. He would do. I call. Oh yeah, I called. I called the mall, the source at Westbury, and I'm thinking of the gallery at Westbury Plaza. Because I forget about that mall. That's why. What is going on with Denny's restaurants? Uh, Not sure. I we don't have any near me. The closest one's like in Avenel, which ironically enough is where only one of two Kmart's are beginning Monday, May 3rd. So, Scorch, I definitely did not forget your name. Marley Station Mall? No. The only Taubman Mall actually, I've only been to two Taubman malls. The mall at Short Hills and Stanford Town Center. Hi, Matt. How are you, man? I Hate Escalators makes great content. Yeah. Yes, he does. He makes really good content, and his store tours inspired me. So, thanks to him, I was able to get all the Lord and Taylors in New Jersey, and now everyone's gonna love them. Everyone's gonna love those store tours. That is for sure. I'm not surprised. I'm glad the shooter turned himself in. It was the right thing to do. Just looking right now, people really liked the Westfield one. I don't even because it's that Semina, New York market, and I forget that it was called the Mall at the Source because Fortunoff was an original anchor there. I still can't believe Simon Property Group developed it though, considering how they owned Roosevelt Field. I still can't believe Simon Property Group would develop a competing center. Uh, oh, he would be so mad. He would be so mad. I called it the source at Westbury. Yeah, no, he would just do a face palm. Oh my god. Oh man. I'm glad he's not here though. I don't think so. I think they were freestanding. Any Pizza Hut in a mall um, would be like in a food court. I don't think they do have sit down, unless it's a food court. That's not really Westfield Long Island Galleria. Remember that was canceled, and they sold off the property to make a smaller type of center. I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm pretty good train tech. How are you? Not necessarily. It really depends on the servers that you get at the Cheesecake Factory. It's a hit or miss. Sometimes you get good experiences, sometimes you get bad experiences. Oh, I forgot you can do that on StreamYard, but then I can't see the chat. Probably. Oh yeah, no, he was definitely not happy. He was definitely not happy with Macy's Plymouth meeting closing, and I'm glad he filmed it. That was the old Strawbridges and Clothier, but then, as we all know, Federated merged with Macy's, and that became the Macy's. And then Macy's said, "Uh oh, we have way too many stores. Time to close some stores." What are some red flags to watch out for in daily life? Make sure you're not getting used. Make sure that you know walk away from something when it's suspicious, and don't dig your own grave. Well, if Westfield did do Long Island Galleria, then that would have been the end of Roosevelt Field. It wouldn't have made sense. I mean, you're building this big mega mall, and then you have another mega mall already, so it wouldn't have made sense for Westfield. Plus, they had Westfield Garden State Plaza. I think they were going to be focused on that instead of trying to already compete with the mega center. I don't know what's going to happen with Palisades. Macy's is hanging on for now, but it's not looking good for Palisades. So Yeah, that was the problem with Macy's Plymouth meeting. It was way too close to King of Prussia, and obviously we knew which Macy's was going to be kept open. It was going to be King of Prussia. No reason to keep Plymouth meeting open, especially if how close it was. I wonder how Palisades was able to compete with them against American Dream. Um, now that town's, I don't know what's going to happen with Palisades. Honestly, I think Palisades doesn't actually need to be scared of American Dream because Palisades used to be the entertainment center. That I think title now, that title definitely now belongs to American Dream, not Palisades anymore. I think that's now all American Dream. Absolutely. I mean, you got a theme park, you got a water park there, you got all kinds of entertainment. Yeah, Palisades really needs to. They really need to take a careful look at American Dream and see what they did, and hopefully they could get something up there. But the good news is arcades in New York are finally opening up beginning March 26th, so I guess that's a good thing. How is Broadway Commons doing? Oh, okay, cool. Hi, Diesel Lucy. Roosevelt Field, that's the better one. Destiny USA is in trouble. Yeah, you know what? You know what other Macy's has a really nice glass atrium, a furniture gallery, the one on Route 4 in Paramus, which used to be a Filene's basement many years ago. Yeah, they could, depending on how your mall is, the Macy's could very well look to pull out of there. Yes, it is a growth store. That's a growth store. Yonkers is definitely a growth store. The cross county one. I don't. Jefferson Valley, though, is a neighborhood store. That's not a growth store. And Stanford Town Center. I think that's either a growth or neighborhood. Not sure about that one. Probably that's probably why they got rid of it. Well, I think that and King of Prussia. Yeah, Palisades Center. Yeah, yeah, the Palisades Center. I know, and I've seen them too. The glass elevators, especially. Yeah, the J.C. Penney there is gone sadly, and the Lord and Taylor is sadly gone there. Only Macy's remains. That is true. Having a Legoland and Dave and Buster's is always a good thing. It's just something that's not a king of prussia, that's for sure. Yes, J.C. Penney is not closing at Roosevelt Field. The Johnson and Johnson vaccine is expected to be approved, I believe, by the end of this week. No, it's not the right mall for Nordstrom. The only second Nordstrom location on Long Island potentially is Walt Women Shops. And I think it's either going to be that in the former Lord and Taylor spot, or they're going to pull off a Savior food court. Again, we don't know what's in the cards yet. It's either going to be a Savior food court or it's going to be a what's it called? Or the Nordstrom, or this is something also really ambitious. Tesla could do a dealer at Walt Whitman Shops, although I don't think that would ever work. But it's either going to be a Nordstrom or they're going to do a Savior and then stores on the bottom. Again, I don't know exactly what they're going to do there, but no, Westfield South Shore is not the right mall for a Nordstrom. They won't be closing Woodbridge Center. Okay, cool. Thanks for joining, Diesel Lucy. Glad you were able to talk about Palisades. I think they're going to go to American Dream first. I think they'll do American Dream. They'll do one store in New York City, and I think they'll do Roosevelt Field. I think that's what they're going to do. I think it's going to be those three locations. I can't. No, they're definitely not opening up in Westbury again, but they'll definitely do Roosevelt Field. I think American Dream, and I think one store in New York City. Don't know where yet. I think those are the three that are going to start out. It's going to be a slow growth, at least for now. Yeah, I can't imagine Primark going to Palisades anytime soon. So. We might be seeing some more Sears layoffs coming tomorrow because we just had another layoffs 2 weeks ago. So we might be seeing some more Sears and Kmart store closures by week's end. Because remember, 2 weeks ago, guys, we saw lots of closures. We found out about Kmart. We found out about Kmart in Kearney. So we could very well see some more layoffs by the end of tomorrow, which would be really depressing. So I don't think Dillard's is interested in going north of Virginia. I just don't think it's possible. Depending on Century 21 standing, it might lean Century 21 or it could lean Primark, but Century 21 might still be interested. Who knows? It's true, but I think Dillard's is very selective of where they go. I don't think Dillard's wants to be in the Northeast. Should kidneys be able to be bought and sold? No, I don't know. That's a really weird question to ask. I agree too, but the thing is, if Century 21 truly is planning a comeback and they still could go back into that store, then theoretically, I still think Century 21 might still happen at Roosevelt Field. I think it is the greatest. I think it's one of the best comebacks I've heard. Century 21 coming back. Yeah, Century 21 will not go back to Westbury. That's for sure. If they're going back anywhere on Long Island, it's going to be Roosevelt Field. Green Acres, probably not. I think they're going to focus mostly on Roosevelt Field, which makes sense. Um, but yeah, so that's what I wanted to say about Century. But I am happy to hear them coming back. And if you really compare the two, it was definitely more likely that Century 21 was going to come back versus Lord and Taylor. Just given that Century 21 had a much larger following than say Lord and Taylor, it was just more likely that Century 21 definitely wasn't going to go away forever. It's still a shame that they closed all their stores, and I still got final rides technically. But yeah, so I don't know. I think they're going to focus on American Dream first. I don't think they're going to go back to the Mills Jersey Gardens unless they do really well and they get some kind of sweetheart deal with Simon Property Group. Boscov's would be more likely to move into former Lord and Taylor than Dillard's. If so, they'd probably only go one or two. Boscov's likes two-floor stores. The problem is Boscov's right now. Um, sorry. The problem with Boscov's right now is they only open up one store a year, and given the pandemic, they want to be very, very, very careful of how they open up a store. So I can't imagine them wanting to open up a store now. I think they want to wait till things get under control with the pandemic at least. Yeah, they probably won't go back there. Oh, you meant it out. Okay. Then I just did that whole explanation for nothing then. There is no way Century 21 is going to. Yeah, no, they definitely won't. If you were given a PhD degree but had no more knowledge of the subject of the degree besides what you have now, what degree would you want to be given to you? I don't really understand that question, but I know what degree I'm going for. That's for sure. Yeah, because Dillard's likes Kentucky. That is true. It would cause a problem, so it might not happen. Maybe they'll move to I don't know, the Gallery Westbury Plaza. You never know. So a lot could happen because I think they have a vacancy at the Gallery Westbury Plaza that I think would be perfect for. They might shoot for 11, or I don't know, or maybe they're just waiting for now. I don't know. That is true. Yeah, the 2018 recession happened. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, they are opening in South Korea. Yeah, I think they will reopen the World Trade Center location and possibly Brooklyn. Mm, that's a good observation. I didn't realize that, but who knows? Maybe there's a demand there for a Century 21 at Roosevelt Field. Who knows? Recession, and I guess it was, and I believe it was a low performing store, and that's why the store is closing because they never updated the elevator from the 1960s, and that's why they're closing. If animals could talk, which would be the most annoying? Probably the parrot. Maybe, but right now we just know of South Korea. We don't know any other stores. We know they're trying to come back to the U.S., but nothing has been unconfirmed or confirmed yet. That's true, RL. That's another very good observation. It's almost like having a little discussion. That's what this really has become. Okay, have a good night. Yeah, but they're on the road to recovery because as more people get vaccinated in the arm, they're on the road to recovery. I know they've been going down for I think this is week number 6 now that the COVID cases have been going down. So it's certainly a good sign, and that's because more people are getting vaccinated. The worrisome part, though, of course, has to be the uh, what's it called? I just got a text message. The variants, of course. So yeah. So all right, guys. So I think we're gonna go ahead and end the live stream here to be continued tomorrow. Thanks for watching.